Hi everybody, Steve here from the Vinyl Record Mission. Are you an amateurphile? We'll find out how I discovered that I am exactly that, but no more.
Your two favorite guys, Ryan and Steve from the Vinyl Record Mission.
Hi everybody, today I'm going to share a comment that I got that really opened my eyes to what I've been doing for the longest time, and I was really oblivious to it, probably because it wasn't completely obvious that I was doing this wrong, but nevertheless, it really got me thinking. And the comment was from a gentleman by the name of Joe, and Joe said, this is in response to one of the record pie flattening videos that I did, where I take a warped record and put it in that $275 record pizza bag oven / whatever you want to call that thing, but it flattens records and it works, but it costs, almost $300. And John's comment, respectfully as it was, said, the record pie seems like a nice machine, but if someone can afford to have a great vinyl collection and spend $275 to flatten some of them out, I presume he's speaking about me, they should have a better stylus than what the entry-level Audio-Technica elliptical cartridge has. Great brand of cartridges, but spring for a microline or Shibata so you can hear how good the LPs can be. Wow, Joe. So I immediately didn't take offense. I responded to him and I thanked him, because I thought to myself, wow, I'm spending like a lot of money on some records, and Audiophile records that are, in the range of like $150. This is one of them here that I bought a while back when it first came out, and it was $150. And the UHQR, quality pressings, all that stuff, all the acoustic sounds, you name it, the MoFis, the Nautilus pressings, the Sheffield Labs. I have a lot of that stuff, and it's expensive, and it's designed with the audiophile in mind, as well as the audiophile equipment in mind. So the extreme case of that is people playing a, $150 to $200 audiophile pressing on a Crosley. But if you can do that, that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to criticize you. Just like this guy very politely mentioned to me that I might be able to enjoy my records more. And so I thought to myself, gosh, you get so caught up in actually buying records. And the sound that comes out of my system it's pretty decent. I'll give you an example of it right now, and I'll walk you through the system that I currently have. It's not a high-end audio system. I don't consider it that. All the components combined would, be maybe around $3,000, $3,500 maybe if you bought it now. But look, check this out. I'll show you what I have. So I have what I consider a fairly humble system. This is my Audio-Technica right here, the AT-LP 120 USB direct drive professional turntable with the standard cartridge that it comes with, that I was told was not very good and that I should upgrade. This turntable is known as the workhorse, and I'm sure probably more people have this turntable than any other turntable in the industry. Everybody seems to love it. I've had it for 10 years. It's never broken down. Knock on wood, I've never had any problems with it, so I'm happy to continue using it if I can improve the sound simply by upgrading the cartridge. And the rest of the components I consider to be fairly decent and provide me with some decent sound is this Marantz tuner right here, and this is a AV surround receiver 6R6008, and it does a fantastic job of providing, you know, a phono output for my turntable. And then I've got these, which are Definitive Technology BP9060s tower speakers. Two of these cost me $2,100 when I bought them. They were like $1,000 each, so the pair came to like $2,300. There are three 4.5-inch drivers in this tower, along with one 1-inch aluminum dome tweeter and a 10-inch woofer down here in the bottom, coming out the sides. And they do a fantastic job. From what, you know, I've been listening to, I've been very pleased with the sound that I get. And here, I'll give you a little sample of the sound that I'm currently getting out of this setup using this little guy right here. So that's what I hear when I put a nice audiophile record on. And that was, in fact, a Sheffield Labs record that's, you know, direct to disc. This right here. That was Adam Makowitz, jazz pianist, with Phil Woods on saxophone, Gene Estes percussion, Bill Goodwin on drums, and the great Mark Johnson on bass, who was the last bass player who played with Joe LaBarbera in the final trio of the Bill Evans trio. And he's a phenomenal bass player. Compared to Scott LaFaro, he has been known to be hailed as one of the best bass players to ever play with Bill Evans. You heard how good it sounded. I mean, it sounds great to me, and even better in person. It's just, it sounds live. And the other reason why I did that is because I wanted to have a recording to compare to when I upgrade my cartridge, because I've been thinking about it and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I figure, you know, just take a break from the records. And I'm already thinking about what records I can buy for the price of these stylus or cartridges that I'm seeing. So I did my research, went on Google, found a really great site that did some reviews and the top 5 cartridges to upgrade for the turntable that I have. And it started with the Audio-Technica VM530EN, and that's the orange cartridge that you see here in the picture. And those run about $184 cartridge alone, or you can spend $229 for the combo head shell combo kit. Then there was the Denon DL110 that was also reviewed and had its pros and cons that I read through. And that one runs for $238. And then you've got the Audio-Technica VM540 ML Microline. And that one, cartridge only, is $244.99, and with the head shell combo kit, it's $299. So $300 cartridge there. Then number 4 is the classic, highly regarded Audiophile Blue. There's a lot of love and hate for that cartridge, but it was one of the ones that they recommended of the 5 here. And lastly, that one's selling for $182. That's the least expensive one now. And that used to be the cartridge that everybody was after and was always really happy with the sound quality. And then you've got number 5, the Grado Prestige Gold. And that one runs $260. And, you know, they all said that they sound great. They have pros and cons. Some of them have longer lists of cons than others. But I'd like to know what you guys think about, if any of you have any experience with any of these phono cartridges. Joe, the comment that was left on the video of mine, recommended the Audio-Technica Micro line. And there was another one that he recommended too. I can't remember, but I didn't see that in these top 5 that were recommended. So I've got a decision to make, and I'm going to make it very, very soon. I'll worry about what records I could have bought later. In the end, I think what I realized and I learned is that I do get caught up more in record collecting than I do in the sound. And I guess it's because I'm so used to the sound that I get from my system, and I've always been fairly happy with it. But if it can sound better, I'm all for it. I'm spending $300 approximately to find out if it's going to sound that much better. Will I be able to hear the difference? I sure hope so. We'll have to wait and see how it turns out. But I have learned that we should also focus on sound, because the definition of an audiophile is somebody who is passionate about sound. So passionate that they go to great lengths to improve the sound of their systems, and they want to achieve the highest level of sound quality possible. That's what the definition of an audiophile is. And you do that within your own budget, of course. Everybody purchases things within their means. It's not always easy to go out there and drop, $3,000 on a new turntable, And another thing, I'm possibly replacing this stock cartridge on here and stylus with something that costs the same amount as the turntable. I mean, you can buy these turntables for $300, I think now. Maybe they've gone up. I don't know. They might be $350. But when I bought mine, it was $250, brand new. And I know they've gone up a little bit. But, it's funny that the cartridge costs the same as the turntable. So I'm hoping that it improves the sound, because I could have taken that money and maybe invested it in another turntable. But after doing some research on turntables, I realized that if I really want to upgrade a turntable, I'm going to end up spending between $800 to $2,000 on a really nice turntable. But I like the Audio-Technica, man. I like the fact that you can play a 78 on there, or you can speed up the speed on there with the bar, and it has all these other features that to me are great, and it's a workhorse. It really, really does a great job, and it seems to be one that has longevity. So one day, maybe when I retire, I'll drop a couple $1,000s into a really nice turntable, because believe me, if you haven't looked on the Kronos website, and that's Kronos, and looked at their turntables, like $42,000 for a turntable, and they go up above that. It's insane what some people can afford to pay for an audiophile system. I'll never be in those shoes, that's for sure. But nevertheless, we'll see what a $300 investment does for the sound quality of my records. And I've got a lot of audiophile pressings, believe me, that if you're putting a cheap stylus and cartridge on these expensive records, kind of defeats the purpose. So we'll see what the outcome is, and I will be sure to let you guys know what the outcome is. So after realizing that I was more focused on collecting records than hearing them at their best possible sound quality, I coined the phrase amateurphile, because I was disappointed in myself. I said, Steve, all this time you've been, just like throwing money at records when you didn't care enough about how they were sounding coming out of your speakers. And granted, they sounded pretty decent, but the true audiophile is in constant pursuit of the greatest sound quality they can achieve with their system. So, am I still an amateurphile? Are you an amateurphile? Yeah. I think I'm about ready to graduate. Thanks for joining me. This is Steve. Until next time, take care.
If you haven't, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the vinyl record mission so that way you don't miss out on any future content. More videos coming your way.